We almost there, family. 2 seconds. All right, family, we are live. Vocal Dialect is in the building, season 1, episode 13. Tonight's topics, we're gonna be talking about current events thus far in this crazy, crazy world. We have the lovely Queen Goddess Hope, free as fuck. We got General Shaka Sankofa in the building. We ain't playing no games. Then we got the beloved Kinwado. That's his original name before he became Kinwado Ikea. I am Knowledge Born 7. And yo, let's get it. Current events. What's going on? What's spicy out here, man? They say these niggas out here getting zesty. They got misinformation. What's going on? Y'all talk to me. What's
How do you
going
feel
on,
about
kid?
this?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Queen.
Yeah, Ken sent us some videos. Definitely. I think something out in Arizona. Right, Ken? Tell us, some guy in Arizona sold weapons to someone who was put a plot against some black people at
Oh yeah, yeah,
a
yeah. Shaka had relayed that to me this morning, so I put it in the chat. I want to send the videos. Shaka could break it down more than I can.
All right. Peace, family.
piece.
It was a situation where this Neanderthal was attending all these gun shows, and he was buying hundreds of rifles, hundreds of weapons. And he was explaining to the gun dealers, this particular one gun dealer, what he wanted to do. He wanted to kill all blacks, Jews, and Muslims. And he said that he was going to go where masses of black people, Muslims, and Jews are and commit mass murder, because he said he didn't want it to appear like it was anything gang related or anything like that. And while he was murdering our people, he was going to be screaming, long live the KKK or something like that. But the arms dealer was an FBI agent working undercover as an arms dealer. So that's how they actually got him. But he was going to the State Farm Arena. There was some rap concert in Atlanta, and that's where he was headed. And he was going to commit mass murder. And so, and he geared that around to incite the pre-race war prior to the 2024 election. And so, like I always say, if you want to kill masses of black people, all you have to do is go to a concert where it's music at a sports event, Popeyes and Walmart, or shoot, Foot Locker. You can kill most of us will get slaved, and these people know this. And so this is why they put these plays on with these holidays and all of these things and these little events with Diddy and Kendrick Lamar and all this type of stuff to once again divert us from what we actually need to do, because they've been preparing for war. It's a YouTube channel where I think this girl is 8 years old, little ice monkey girl who can handle any weapon out here. And she's damn near gone viral. She got thousands and thousands of subscribers, and she demonstrates how many weapons she can use. And so while they're teaching their children defense, we're teaching our children how to keep their Jordans clean, teaching them to be the next LeBron, teaching them to be sexy red and all this type of shit, and prepare for, the next jab, the next evangelism tour and all this stuff that keeps us sedated, comatose, spiritually castrated, economically crushed, and keeps us at their mercy. And these people are preparing for war. And they trying to make it seem as though Trump is the devil and Biden is the angel. And see, this is another plot. Because if you get 4 more years of Joe Biden, who don't know if he's coming or going, which if you look at the whole picture of him personally, this is elder abuse. Now, if this was a regular 9 to 5 person, this would be considered elder abuse to have somebody with dementia walking around pissing on themselves, not able to read, coming to and not waking up, somebody that's running supposed to be the commander in chief, which is really elder abuse. So they trying to stand him up, keep the corpse standing to make it appear that it's still living for the sake of keep on pushing these agendas that keep our people in these oppressive situations and conditions. So it's just not about these inbreds who, go on these tyrants, these racial tyrants, and then everybody looks at that individual or looks at the country like they're surprised there's racism when it's racism 24/7.
It's funny you said that about Biden. Biden just announced today his deportation protection. We got to see what that's all about. And not only that though, it is easy to figure us out. They figured us out since I think it's J. Edgar Hoover? I think the guy over, was he over FBI?
Yeah, Gay Edgar Hoover.
Yeah, and not just that, they did during that time, their whole thing was studying black people. So they know how to catch us, they know how to manipulate us, they know what makes us tick, what makes us think. And we have to be careful in certain situations, especially like going to these concerts and stuff like that, because you never know what might happen. I know it's entertainment, I know it's fun, but we get caught up in entertainment and fun, and it's really bad. And I think I saw that video of other young lady. Yeah, she can handle a sidearm, 12 gauge. Yeah, she know how to handle a lot of different weapons and stuff like that. But we have to teach our youth that, how to handle themselves, how to break down the gun, how to pull it back, take the slide off, clean it, put it back together. Know when the gun is empty, know when the gun is full, know when the gun has a clip in it, know when the gun, does not have a clip in it. When I was raised, I had 3 rules. My brother taught me: never pull it unless you're gonna use it. Never show it. It's not show and tell. Never flash your gun. And when you aim it, that's where you shoot it. So those are just street rules. But yeah, it's a lot going on. We got that going on as far as current events. California firefighters, they got some wildfires going on. Of course, Biden and Trump is still a situation as far as they upcoming debate. We also got the heat wave forecast for I think about 11 cities. I was just checking that out earlier. Heat wave is, is pretty hot. Israel's war cabinet, that's another topic I was checking out earlier. But yeah, the main thing is the heat wave. Heat wave is coming. A lot of people are not prepared. So it's going to be hot. It's going to be a hot one out here.
Yeah, and them also potentially passing the draft bill that's going to automatically enlist men that are between the ages of 18 to 26 into the draft. And it's not going to be where it would be previously a felony, or the way it is now. Like if you are of 18 years old and you're not entering into draft, it is considered a felony. They will come look for your ass. And now they're trying to do it to where it's automatically. And I watched a video today about it, and thinking that I have 2 nephews that are 18 and 19 years old, and that they would automatically, have to do this. And them ensuing a war right before our eyes, especially with them dropping the petrodollar, Saudi Arabia. So, if people are no longer using the USD for currency to buy oil, what does that do for this country? How does that help anybody here? What are we prepared for that? That's a major, major issue. If the two world's largest countries, Russia and China, are joined together and join forces against us, what does that look like? That's trouble for the whole world. Like, these are the
Right.
topics of conversations, that are really happening right now on all of the things that you previously mentioned as well.
That's right. Well, the draft itself, no one, this bill has been passed where they don't have to register. They will automatically be registered. So,
Yeah.
they don't have to go through any procedure and go sign up or get registered. They are already registered. And see, this is another ploy of population control. Because what they're going to do, it doesn't even matter if they're in college. It doesn't even matter. And they're going to be taking felons, first-time felons, and they're going to be putting them over there. Just the same thing. Just the same soup, just warmed over from the Vietnam War. But the technology has intensified to the point where there won't be many of these young brothers coming back, and so this is how they have it set up, and they want to do this. This is not about the military defense. This is about making sure white supremacy and those who are gatekeepers can live in some level of comfort and don't have to bear the responsibility or the burden of creating jobs and restoring Black families. Because if you take these young men, because it's millions of young men, if you put them out there, and put them on the front line, 70% of them won't be coming back. And if the ones that do come back, they'll be so mentally dysfunctional, as well as physically wounded, limbless, and things of that nature. Because if you take an 18-year-old boy that just graduated from high school and you put him on a plane and push him off a plane, with an AR-15 and 3 hand grenades and drop him in what they call enemy territory, most of them been raised by their mothers, so they don't have that type of male energy instruction. And so what do you think is going to happen? Because they don't talk about a lot of wars that have taken place, how there have been what they call friendly gunfire, guns misfiring, people accidentally shooting their partners in their platoon and all this. They don't talk about those things, And my thing is, we don't make a large outcry to prevent our youth from being put in that type of position where there's a 20% chance of them returning, we're doomed. And so my thing is, okay, if you can send my nephew over there, the congressman and all of these other people, Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, send your sons and them over there. Y'all the ones that starting this shit. And it's supposed to be the United Snakes. Send your sons over there. Send your grandboys over there. Send your granddaughters over there. And make it even. See, they're exempt from dealing in war. But these people can sit back, these puppet masters can sit back and send our young brothers and sisters, even the women. Even the women gonna be going over there as medics and all types of other stuff. Well, under the auspice of being a medical technician or whatever, and just another ploy, just another ploy of population control. Because if you can take these young men and you can castrate them mentally, annihilate them physically, that reduces population, that dismantles and keep the dismantlement of the Black family. So then you just have a whole bunch of dysfunctional families like we currently have now. So they don't want to build trade schools, vocational schools to take these young men off the street, young men and women off the street, and give them trades and make them be productive members and return back to the homes and be good fathers and good mothers. It's more easier to annihilate them because it's population control.
Oh yeah, war is definitely population control, and about 15% when they go there, they die from friendly fire. You know, I think it was like around 13% during World War II, and 10% during World War One. So yeah, you give these young guys a gun, tell them go there and fight, and it's a bad outcome, you know.
Yeah, yes, it's a lot. It's a lot going on, as well as the heat wave. Now, we were talking about that earlier. That the heat wave has never been, the heat has never been in this type of condition, based on these chemtrails and the way they have altered the atmosphere. That this heat is a different heat. This heat is almost unbreathable for a lot of people. And that's based on what they have put in the ozone layers and in the atmosphere. You know, at one time when we were coming up, 85, 90-degree day, people sweated, they ate popsicles and all this type of stuff. These now people don't even have energy. People don't even have strength. People have heat exhaustion, collapsing. It's hard for them to breathe. Even when the pollen count is not that high. Even when the air quality index is moderate, and so these people are collapsing. These people are literally collapsing, and they have in DC, they have these buildings that people can go in and cool off, and they still got paramedics going in there. I'm talking about, round the clock. And then you're looking at the homeless population. It's bad enough that they can barely breathe inside those tents in those wooded areas. And then that type of heat, which draws rodents, all types of different animals and stuff like that. So it's the energy along with the heat, the energy that creates tension, that creates hate, that creates violence, that creates death. This stuff has been planned a long time ago. It's just coming into fruition, and we've been asleep. We've been dancing and whopping, going out to the clubs, and we've been going on shopping sprees and stuff like that, while these people have been in laboratories studying us, taking out organs, dissecting us, determining what can kill us and what can't kill us, how they can get rid of us. They do this around the clock on all these military bases, as well as these behavioral science institutions like NIH, CDC, PIW. They've been working around the clock trying to get rid of us, and they're going to keep some people just for economic purposes, because we have the talent, we have the rhythm, the soul, we got all that. We good entertainers. We can keep them laughing. We can juggle basketballs and box and all that. They'll keep some of us, and singing and stuff like that, But the majority of us, they want to annihilate us. And so you have to, when you thinking from a Neanderthal, from a primate mindset, that you are the inferior species, that you're at the bottom of the pot. You're going to maintain a sinister mindset, and you're going to put in place a system that makes it appear that you're the superior. And so, and with that type of power, that global power that they have, and with the people that look like us, that are the enforcers of that, this is what makes this whole thing so complex, because we don't want to call people out. We don't really want to step to people. We keep thinking we can write our way into freedom. We can speak our way into freedom, and it's going to come to a point where it's going to be self-preservation. It's going to come down to people being murdered for tuna fish, water. And a lot of our people actually, it baffles me sometimes too. It pisses me off that they actually think that this will never happen. They actually think this will never, ever take place. There's somebody, a white man with a nightgown on and some flip-flops going to come through right in the break, you know, and that's superhero cartoon shit too, right before everything crashes and come and save the day. And it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
You forgot, Shock, he's supposed to be riding on a white horse.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
You know, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You know, and what has to happen, some of us, like we all are front linemen. You know, we're all the front linemen. We are even hated and despised by people that look like us. Because when you're not going with the status flow of tyranny and white imperialism, you are labeled as crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't believe in God. All of this psychobabble that have been instilled in the minds and hearts of our people. And so this, you know, we have to learn and be, I'm comfortable with crushing their asses on live. I'm very, very comfortable with that. And I know the opposition that comes with it for people that look like us, and they get it too. Because at what point, let me just say this, you know, people in my age bracket may not live to see what Queen Goddess and others are going to have to deal with. So it's important that we give them as much as we can so they can continue, you know, and be equipped enough to continue to fight and educate so they can pass it on to the people, the young girls and the young women that will be watching and are watching them. So it's you know, once we get out of this selfish stuff, you know, and remove the religious part out the way, because it's too much emotion involved in religion. Too much. And I'm talking about all of them. You know, the battles, not ours. I hate hearing that shit. Say it
again, Shock. You say, what happened? What you say?
They sound about the battles, not ours. That shit nauseates me, man.
Yeah.
You know.
They made 4 songs out of that.
Yeah. You know, but the battle is yours when another nigga owe you $100. The battle is all you have a dream. You stay up all night. You can't wait to see your brother to bust his head open for $100. But then when it comes to the enemy, you know, we need to let go and all this bullshit, man. It sickens me, man. You know, and that's another part of effeminization of the black male too. That's an extension of the effeminization of the black male. You know, hate your brother, love the other. And I always tell people, don't talk to me and get fucking gorilla with me if you're not talking to your white supervisor like that. Talk to him like that. Because you know what's going to happen. You ain't got no smoke for him, but then you King Kong, Shea Butter, Imhotep, you know, Almond Ra the 18th in your goddamn living room. But at your job, you Claude Williams. And you don't buck on none of that shit. You don't buck on none of that.
Yeah, Ken Obasi and Queen got me on that American Negro stuff, man. I be seeing a lot of them, man. Man, you know, so I wasn't paying no attention until we did the show about it. I see at least every other day. I'm talking about these tough, spit in your face. You want to fight me, but you don't want to say nothing against your oppressor. But when you see your oppressor, you happy-go-lucky, click your feet in the air 2 times, and then open the door for I don't do none of that. I be walking through Kroger and Publix. They're like, "Can you get this for me?" Now you know when you brought your ass in here, you know you needed somebody to get some off the top shelf for you. I said no. I said call when the white people get something for you. Don't call me.
Hey
It was
man, that's
bad,
sick as me, man.
bad,
Cause
bad.
the dude, I was riding with a coworker, and he was talking all this gangster shit. Yeah, these motherfucking crackers, this and we're gonna do this, and I'm not clocking into when I feel like it and all this shit. Man, we get up to the damn site, man, and it sounded like he was I thought it was a white man talking. And I was like Denzel trying to say, no, you didn't. You know, what? I was like, man, come on, man. I mean, he was straight up thugging that car till he got to that office door. And he turned, he was talking like, he was doing a commencement speech at Harvard. I said, this nigga sick, man.
There's a couple of them. There's really a couple of them. I don't understand.
Yeah, they be flipping the script. It comes like some people say they from the streets and they do certain things, and lo and behold, they not from the streets, and they do the total opposite. But us as men, we have to have a strong code about us. It's like FUBU, for us, by us. We got to keep that
Hmm.
code. And we not just that, we have to enforce that code. We can't let what we see before us weaken us on every level, dealing with our character and dealing with us representing ourselves as we supposed to be represented. Because you can only represent yourself how you supposed to be represented. If you want to be happy go lucky, that's what you're gonna be. Don't but go be happy go lucky. Don't come to me and be like you thorough thizzle, and then you go somewhere else and be happy go lucky. You know what I'm saying? You just snapping your fingers, you clicking your feet in the air. You want to do cartwheels like you on a musical or something. Gone in the wind. I don't know where you come from, but then when I put you on blast, you say I'm wrong. I'm negative. I give you a definition of negative. When somebody send you to jail for 20, 30, 40 years for a code, for a fictitious code that's being
Hmm.
enforced by something written in the Black's Law Dictionary that you're not even privy to. A penal code means you broke up, you did a penal action allegedly, and you have to agree to it allegedly, and you let your oppressor enforce that on you. But I'm negative, man. Y'all got a lot to learn, man. A lot to learn. But yeah, I
For
was
real.
hollering at my boy earlier about the heat wave thing, and so I think he's in Boston. He says hot in Boston, New York, Philly. What else? What else about Philly? New York, Philly, Boston. It's somewhere else. He said. I know Chicago and St. Louis gonna get hit by it, and this is gonna be an aggravated heat. So it's gonna be aggressive, not aggravated. Aggressive heat. They already got it at a level 4. So this is definitely the time to stay hydrated. No matter what, you probably want to be drinking something every 30 minutes. Because as Shaka spoke about, when you get up under heat consumption, a lot of stuff happens to you. Start hallucinating.
Hmm.
You will you will pass out if you don't have the proper hydration in your body. Even though we made up of a water, we have to keep a certain level of it in our body, especially during the heat wave, because it's evaporating. And then not only is it evaporating, but you're using the water for energy as well. So definitely stay hydrated. You got a heat wave. They say this gets level 4. Stay hydrated, and man, if you can't stay hydrated, then we're gonna go to the cucumber family, hydrate you as well. So you got cucumbers. I think it's
Hmm.
watermelons. I think it's regular melons. I forgot. Just Google the cucumber family. Things that come
Hmm.
with the cucumber the family, that they are over 90% of water. So if you got that as well, that would definitely hydrate you as well. A lot
Yeah.
going on. I liked a lot of stuff that Brother Shaka touched on, but I do want to say this for the Wazungu, for the enemy that's out there. It's amazing you want to take us out, but we are the true people who are students of nature. Without us, there is no Western world. You know what I'm saying? Without Queen Goddess Hopes, the herbalists, the stargazers, the ones who tell you about the crystals that heal your body, that put you on that rhythm, which is part of the 7 laws of creation dealing with Tahuti. So you want to take us out because you feel like you have mastered nature. I'm here to tell you, nature has something for you. And guess what? It's not good.
It's definitely about to invoke its spirit into the world through the sun. I don't think it's a coincidence that this is also the week of the summer solstice. And,
Yep.
it's like you have heat, intense heat, and then the longest day of the year at the same time. Like, how is the sun is going to be out the longest on the 21st? And there are a lot of Juneteenth events happening this week too. So, we really have to take heed to that message. Anyone who's serving fresh beverages, like you said, is definitely gonna make a bag this weekend. Fruit, anything related to that, smoothies, sea moss, those types of things. 100%. Just me thinking about what's happening with the weather and having paid attention to the solar flares for the last couple of years, seeing how active the sun is becoming. It's really, really targeting a lot of people. But more importantly, I was on Staten Island over the weekend, and I'm outside of the juice bar, and there was a little white lady. She looked at me, and I'm just kind of in a mode of where, like, I'm just me, like, just because you open the door, I don't have to smile at you, any of that kind of stuff. I acknowledge you standing there because now you're changing the vibration, but I don't sweat no white people. So she opens the door and she looks at me because I'm standing directly in the sunlight waiting for my juice to be prepared. And she walks out, little old white lady. She opens up her umbrella and she's decked out in all white and goes out into the sun. A couple of other people, had their leather faces on, looking terrible. And, white people are really deteriorating. They look so bad in New York right now. They look so bad. Their skin looks terrible. They look like they're dying. Like, they genuinely look like they're dying and they cannot survive in the sun. It was 93 degrees on Friday when I was in New Jersey. 93. I
Wow.
haven't felt that hot heat in New York City in a long time. And the fact that it's June and it hasn't even hit August yet, like, there's gonna be hella bodies dropping. You know how shit get when it's hot outside. It's gonna be so bad if they're really already targeting, us at events, large events. People are really, really outside trying to commune with one another. People want to be at festivals. People want to be at Black festivals. People are really just awakening to what Juneteenth really is. We've been celebrating it for years,
For
but people are
years.
really just figuring out what it is because they made it a federal holiday just 2 years ago. So people are like, wow, it's a day off. Let me be outside. So people are now awakening to culture, and whether if they're really conscious or fake conscious, whatever it is, people are just becoming aware, which is really important for our people all in all. It's still really important for them to become aware, but it's really up to us to discern and decipher and use our intuition and really understand who it is that we're dealing with. There are a lot of fake conscious people. I say this every single week because I'm sick and tired of it, you know, alleging that their lifestyle and their mindsets and the way they live, and, they're all doing this in one way, but in reality, they're still very much, like you say, code switching, still really much, pretending to be something that they're not. And the more I put my head inside of the book, the more I continue to talk to people, the more I continue to bump into people from my past, I'm slowly realizing this even more so now. You really have to let energy speak for itself. It's no longer about this. It's really, really not. We have so much information coming at us so fast, anybody could talk a fast one.
Mm, that's true. That's true. But why is this heat wave? And this is a question I ask myself. Why is this? Now, we done had 1,000 summers with triple digit weather. Why is this one so different? Why
because
is
of the
this one
solar
in
maximum.
particular so different?
The solar maximus is the first time we're changing ages. We've been in a Piscean age for what is it, like 27,000 years or something like that. Some people will say 4,767, but we've been in this millennial, let's call it, of this reign of Pisces for thousands of years. And now we're into a brand new age, the Aquarian age. People are no longer going to be attached to Jesus as the fisher of man, with the Piscean age. People are genuinely going to be attached to new age energy, tapping into themselves, their higher consciousness, getting lighter, eating healthier, realizing that, there has been an enemy against us for all this time. There's a change in an age, there's a change in energy. Plus, it's the solar maximus. It's the hottest sun cycle ever recorded. You have to remember this. The sun is still a star. It's going through its own phases. It is dying. And as it dies, it gets hotter, where these things are really happening on a scientific level, on a biological level. So now, because the sun is also higher, our body chemistry is changing. The only way to change with the chemistry of the sun is to remain lighter. You have to get lighter, whether consciously, spiritually, physically. You have to get lighter on so many levels to be able to even handle the amount of radiation that's coming off of the sun onto the planet. Like
Right.
it's really multiple layers, and that's why it's so important.
Now, this is the first major heat wave since these jabs. So
Mm.
now, and this plays a lot on the organs as well. So if you already got that poison in you, and then the heat
Baby.
and drying and calcifying that venom that's in you. And not only that, the people who didn't, who refused to get jabbed, just your mind and your body and your energy being in the defense mode, that put wear and tear on everybody as well. So,
Yep.
but it's more deeper than people can even fathom.
100%.
Especially those. If you look at the statistics in each city about what you'll see within the next 6 or 7 days, you're going to see massive heat strokes. They're going to label it as heat strokes, but it's actually going to be kidney failure, heart disease, liver malfunction, because with that heat, that makes that venom in these people spawn. So it's really going to take place, and it's going to activate more calcification in the organs. So this is why people are falling out. They just dropping. This stuff
It's
has
true.
been planned. This stuff has been planned, and unfortunately, a lot of our people are not going to take heed to it. They once again, they're going to wait on a white man look like Howard Stern to walk on top of the Atlantic Ocean with some fucking child shoes on and a nightgown with no underwear on, just going to straighten all this shit out. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. So you only can assist those who are in. This is why they played The Walking Dead. This is why they had an episode in the Twilight Zone in the 60s about the heat wave. The heat was like 118 degrees, where the paintings off the paint off the paintings were melting in the house. But at the end of the Twilight Zone, at the end of that show, the lady just had a fever. She ended up having a fever from the heat. And so, I mean, and this was in, I think, 1966, 67. This is what I'm saying. They've been planning all of this stuff. They've been putting all this stuff together. Now it's manifesting because we've bought into the program. We've bought in.
That's true.
Yeah, that's amazing. You said the defense mode of the body. I studied that. So what happens is your body is having a traumatic event, and it constantly keeps going. So essentially, what is you fall into a trauma state, and when you fall into a trauma state, you start hallucinating, and it's a crazy thing that happens. It just puts so much stress on the body where you just start to be unable to even think and move how you should. It blocks out your mind functions. When your body
Yeah.
goes into a 24/7 365 defense mode, it wears your body down. No, nothing you can do to do it because it's chemical. It's just the makeup of our body, and that's the science
Mhm.
of it. And for them, to make that particular type of venom to put in our body where it can be turned on and turned off. A lot of people don't realize what's going on. We have to get into the science. One thing about us, in the beginning, we were scientists, because if you're truly a student of nature, you're a scientist. You know why the grasshopper does this. You know why this tree does that. You know why
Right.
the beaver does this. We are scientists. We study nature, and we were very in tune with ourselves. We were in tune with stars. We were in tune to the very essence that put us where we are now. So it is crazy when your body is in 365 defense mode. It is crazy. You you
You know
literally
what?
you literally can melt from the inside out. Your body in defense mode all the time.
It's true. That is a fact. That is an actual fact. These last since we were last recorded, I have been immersed in finding out information about the COVID jabs and, really trying to find out what these things are actually doing to people, because now this is the first time that a lot of scientists have been able to get their hands on the actual vials. So now they're mixing their non-vaccinated blood with this under a microscope and seeing what's happening on a chemical compound basis. And what they're finding is like really appalling. And, unfortunately, because we've had 3 years' time in some people already, so you can't really see how much this thing has evolved yet because they are just getting their hands on it. We're within a 6-month period of them testing these things out. So they still have 2.5 years to really see how this thing will evolve over time if they can keep it alive that long. You know, Looking into this information appears that try they're it seems, and this is just me with allegations of my own that I've pieced together from watching these documentaries, but it seems that they're basically trying to allow blood to survive outside of your body double the time. So most people know that when you donate blood, you're supposed to immediately get it to its, don't whoever's receiving the donation within 24 hours time. Otherwise, it technically starts to deteriorate and it's no longer able to be used for what it was intended for. So, if now somebody has this shot inside of them, this thing has now protected someone's blood cells enough to the point where it can actually be used for the next person to possibly survive longer, because that specific cell with that shot around it can now last 48 hours. So if that is the case, and if they can actually prove that they can maneuver people's blood cells and mitochondrial DNA to transmute the way that they really want it to, now they have changed the whole medical society once again, for their benefit for long-term use, because these white people are really about to pass the fuck out. It
That's
is
what it
about to change the entire medical game if you can double the length that you can keep blood alive outside of the human body. That is masterful. That is ridiculously insane. And that's you controlling people on another scale.
Oh yeah.
Woo.
Yeah. So if you look at this whole thing has been laid out and has being played out, um, you know, the draft, the jab, Katrina, 9/11. All this stuff is being played out. Now, all of a sudden, you get the draft, and you're trying to, like you was talking about the blood, how they're trying to use our blood and preserve our blood and our organs for their survival. Now you see all these plasma centers popping up in the Black community. You send these people over the war, you get them killed, you take their plasma as well. You know, this is why they had these consortiums. Walt Disney's head is still on ice, Ted Williams. You got a lot of people that their heads are in these consortiums on ice because they really want to actually recreate these people. And so they're trying to regenerate themselves in the process, which is going to be nearly impossible. They're going to create hybrid monsters. You know, hybrid monsters are going to take place. This is why they have these sci-fi movies that they've been playing for years, and we just look at the sensationalism aspect of it instead of dealing with the science of it, instead of dealing with the agendas, you know, and the plays. Soylent Green from the 70s, made out of people. Now you got you have what they call plant-based. There's been known, and McDonald's hamburgers that have been known to have human fetuses and all this type of stuff in it. This is why people are acting like savages. This is why our people, their diets have become of a savage, beastly nature. You know, and with that diet comes the mindset that goes with it. We've never seen men, women cutting their mothers up. Woman cut her mother up, her and the granddaughter cut their mother up because they maxed their credit cards out right about 10 minutes from here. And then went on the balcony, cut the mother up and put on the grill and was cooking her in front of the whole community. You know, we've never have possessed that type of energy in our history. Never. Even when we dealt with our enemies in the motherland, even then, we didn't go to not that extent of savagery. You know, now that we've incorporated that, but the thing is that we've been trained to use that savagery on our own reflections. This is how they're able to capitalize on that. And you have these people that's supposed to be leaders that are appointed by the globalists, you know, to give us false hopes and illusions, even in this so-called conscious community, you know, to give us all this stuff and look at people like they so deep, but you're really not that deep because you're not even in the street. You're really not that deep because you're not putting nothing back. And so these are plays that they run on us to keep us comatose, keep us asleep. You know, T.D. Jakes and all these other characters, Diddy, and even when you're dealing with that particular piece, not to go off the subject too deep, you know, Diddy beating Cassie up, all of them do that. All the rappers, mostly all those rappers and entertainers beat women up. You know, but you chose that person that hasn't been brought up by the police haven't arrested them. You know, the people don't want to actually speak on it. Now they speaking in codes and, you know, parables and stuff like that because they were active participants. And so, you know, if he actually opened the floodgates, it'd be a lot of them going down. And so they handle this carefully. This is why pushing the lie to the people pays so much. You know, it pays so much, and the payoff, and in turn, the lies and deceivers are highly and greatly rewarded for their deception of the people. It's a sinister plot that we have to, you know, have the courage and the heart to combat this shit. You have to actually be fearless. You know, it's no compromising. When I encounter Europeans and ice monkeys in my walk, I don't disrespect them. I don't show no type of nothing because I don't waste that type of energy, but they don't have no room to say not one thing wrong. You know, nothing. You But the people that are largely responsible for our oppression are people that look like us. Period.
Wow. That's something
I saw
right there.
something today. I saw something today real quick that was making a call for all Black people to move to the South so that they could have an, a lot of thriving economic communities all over the South once again. And I can't lie, like when I was a child, I remember having dreams about that happening again. All the white people stayed in the North because it was cold, and all the Black people and Latino people stayed in the South because they needed the sun to survive. And then history started repeating itself again. They started acting like they could come back to the South and forcing people into, their corporate societies once again. But this time it was a little different because, we had a major Black Wall Street, and now we didn't just have it in two or three selective places. We had it in every city in the South because we're all coming with it. We're keeping the dollar alive. Once again, I saw today that, you know, Asians circulate the dollar 30 days, Jews 20 days, Black people 6 hours. I'm like, the only way to combat that is really to start living in the same communities all over again and creating Black Wall Street. That's the only way to combat that.
We've had them. We've had when you look at it on a whole perspective, every city, every single town that Blacks resided in was a Wall Street because it may not have been each town didn't have their own bus company and things of that nature, but they had the mom and pop stores. Everybody was self-supporting in the community. You didn't have to go outside the community to receive any type of help. If you were short on eggs and bread and butter, till Friday, you could go to a neighbor. People commune like that. But when you're talking about on a larger scale, as far as economic empires, we are the economic empires. We are. This is what I'm saying. They're not gonna get rid of all of us because they cannot survive without us. How can you survive with the people who created everything for you, and you don't know how to create nothing but savagery, turmoil, carnage, and pillaging? You cannot.
Ammunition, guns.
You come from a place where there was no vegetation. You didn't know what an orange or apple was. So to to come here, they don't want to even put us in where it's any sun or any water because it concentrates the pineal gland. It makes us stronger. That sun, that raw gives us strength. And they, and this is the whole thing what they trying to do. They trying to replace us with them, with us. They're trying to put us in them, but they still want to be them with us. And it's never going to work. It's never going to work. And don't think that it hasn't been tried in Rome, in Greece. Don't think it hasn't been tried thousands and thousands of years ago. This is why Imhotep was so ingenuous. This stuff has been going on. But we, like I said, through trauma, through this trauma that we still suffer from. All of us are damaged, whether it's generational, whether it's personal, whatever. We still dealing with a lot of trauma, and we're in the healing process. And but you have a lot of, unfortunately, the majority of our people are under that spell work and hypnosis, where they think that their insanity and their trauma is normal. And so it's this is a hell of a challenge, and to be in this day and era, to be selected to have to fight all this bullshit, sometimes it can be overwhelming, extremely overwhelming.
Yes, it's all right though. That's why I still say my form of reparations comes with mental health care, I'll happily take that for 10 years because we definitely still need it. And I'm thankful because, I always have conversations with different people where they're like, they feel therapy right now is using our community as a crutch. Some people feel they're confiding in their therapist like they're their best friend, and everybody has a different perspective, which is great. The fact for me is that they're at least there. Maybe they've never had someone that they can confide in like that. The fact that they're going is a relief for me because it means that you're taking it seriously. If you continuously showing up, I don't care in what capacity your therapist is treating you, as long as you're showing up because we really need it. We genuinely need it.
Most definitely. And people like yourself are needed, more, more than you probably can imagine by those who have been around for a minute to know that there's a new energy coming on board, and we just have to um, do what we can to instill these things in the people that's coming behind us. This is what the Panthers did. This is what all of our scholars and warriors, Fannie Lou Hamers, and all of the greats done. Even Tupac Shakur laid the foundation down, knowing he wasn't going to be around. That his chances of seeing 30 was slim to none. But he laid a foundation down that we still gravitate to today. And it still has an impact not only on us who listen to his music during his time here, but those who the children and the grandchildren that are listening to his words and the vibrations that and his words spoke. So it's it's a lot of work. I'm telling you, I've been doing this stuff for a minute, and it's hard, it's difficult, it's challenging. Sometimes it's disheartening to see how people just accept
anything,
poverty, tragedy, all these agendas on TV,
No way.
and we buy into that programming, like Niles was saying, like last summer, that particular programming, people don't understand that stuff was implemented in the 40s. As soon as they began to have visual televisions in the 40s and 50s, they had an agenda set that it was just going to be strictly programming, and our people are, you got people that no matter what's going on, they'll run through traffic, run through 3 or 4 red lights to catch the news, because that's programming. That is some serious programming.
That's their favorite anchor.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. It's funny.
The
It's funny you said that, right? And this is true right here. This is true. I remember one of my cousins doing that. I'm talking about, man, read a whole red like, y'all gotta get to watch the news. I'm like, watch the news. And look, and was serious about it. And when she got in there, she had to watch the news. But see now we so programmed, we don't get it. The news reports may change, throughout the day sometime. But 9 times out of 10, if you get a major story, 2, 3 major stories in the morning, they're gonna run it noonday and they're gonna run it again at nighttime. They may add maybe 1 or 2 more at nighttime. That's it. So you're still getting regurgitated, controlled information being pumped into your psyche to have you thinking and believing something else. That was the whole premise of pumping the fear into us during the jab situation. You know what I'm saying? False evidence appearing real. We pumped that false evidence in us because they made it appear real to us. And don't forget, when the jab thing was going on, they had the big old map come on the screen with the death music. Dun 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 dun. Then it kept showing like this place is affected. And this place is affected. It just had like the whole United States map. It played it 24/7. Dun 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 dun. Come on,
No
man. We gotta
way.
wake
That's
up.
programming for
That's a
that ass.
vibration. That's a vibration. And all of
Yep.
us, I say 99% of us are still under the spell work of white supremacy, white imperialism. If you don't believe it, test yourself. Go somewhere at 3:30 a.m. 3:30 a.m. It's no cars, no traffic lights, no cameras, nobody's around. And you see a stop sign. If you stop at that stop sign, your ass is under white supremacy to the point where they don't even have to have nothing out there and you're going to obey the shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I ain't stopping. We gonna keep
Yeah.
driving. Fuck is you talking about?
Right.
Like,
Any
I
last
remember.
remarks
With
before we end the live?
your luck, you'll get by with it. Me and Knowledge run the stop sign. That you know, and that's it's the fucking code 11 and all this type of shit, you know.
I,
So
I ran the
You got
stop sign one day.
150
I ain't
people
even see
all of a
dude.
sudden.
I ran the stop sign one day. I ain't even see dude. He came out the trees, man. Woo! Man. He got on the loudspeaker. Hey, next time stop that stop sign. I blew the horn and kept going. You know what I'm saying?
I shouldn't be on the road.
I know, right? Any last remarks before we end the live, y'all?
No, just get out in that sun, get up some DNA, drink water. We still need to be outside.
Yeah.
pay attention to what's going on. Pay attention to what's going on outside of your regular programming.
Yeah. And
Don't watch the news.
my last thoughts is keep dealing with the mental mind. I know we deal with a lot of mental disease, a lot of mental defect. And what I mean by dealing with the mental mind, you know, try to meditate. You know what I'm saying? Get some positive affirmations. You can change your DNA makeup. You know what I'm saying? Through meditation, repetitious speaking. Talk to yourself. I mean, in a good way. I'm not saying talk to yourself and respond, but I mean, speak to yourself. Let me use another. Speak to yourself. Speak positive things in your life. Speak to the inner peace. I mean, the inner man that's in you, so you can have inner peace. Those are my last thoughts. You know, but we appreciate everybody who joined us on the live, man. Peace and power, family. We got Gerald Moore and Netta B. We thank y'all for tuning in. You know, it's always an honor and a
That's
pleasure.
right.
I'm Knowledge Born 7. That's Queen Goddess Hope, and that's General Shaka San Kofa. He is our elder. He is the general. And you know, hey, we see y'all next time. We ain't playing no games out here either. We're gonna keep bringing y'all information. And I'm gonna drop a book real quick before we lead a live. For those who don't believe that the Wazungu is your enemy, I'm speaking about the Europeans. Go and read the Iceman's Inheritance. Check that book out. You know, it's a decent read, and you will see just how bad they are. Hey, we love y'all, family. Peace.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.